Today on Hidden Secrets, revealed live. Economists provide evidence. DOGE disrupted the commercial real estate private market. This is a special report, ladies and gentlemen. Economists from Rochester Institute of Technology and Yale School of Management provide evidence. A major shift in U.S. federal real estate policy occurred early in 2025. Widespread lease cancellations and non-renewals by DOGE disrupted the CRE market. The economists are Hyeok Choi and LaPoint. They studied how investors price risks associated with government contracts, particularly in the context of commercial mortgage-backed securities markets. It's a September 2025 academic research paper titled Pricing Government Contract Risk Premia: Evidence from the 2025 Federal Lease Terminations. Let me reveal this hidden secret to you live right now. HSRL is a production of Safe New Media. Before you keep watching, let me tell you who this is not for. This show is not for you if you take yourself too seriously. If you are a seeker, let me be your guide to discover accurate truth for yourself. Let me help you increase the quality and effectiveness of your life by revealing to you the hidden secrets of the universe. It's the only podcast of its kind right now on the subject, going live on X. Therefore, the most popular live stream podcast live right now on this subject, going live on X. This show is specifically for those who are seeking new perspectives, fresh ideas, and a willingness to explore new possibilities. My intention is to help investors like you stay ahead of the curve and make the most out of emerging opportunities. Today on HSRL. Ladies and gentlemen, everything is okay now. But earlier this year, we were in trouble. By we, I mean commercial real estate, especially in Washington, D.C. Economists produced this research paper that dug deeper than a grave digger on steroids. The research paper is like a detective story about a big change in 2025. It's written by two smart economists, Hyeok Choi and LaPoint. They looked at how the U.S. government canceled a bunch of office building leases faster than you can say Department of Government Efficiency. We're talking rental agreements for workspaces, canceled like a politically incorrect pop star. This shook up the real estate world. What's the big deal? Let me give you the background. Picture this. The government rents a ton of office space for its workers. Think FBI offices or IRS buildings. An agency called the GSA, General Services Administration, runs these. For years, people thought these government rentals were super safe and reliable, like a guaranteed paycheck for landlords. Why? The leases have two parts: the firm term and the soft term. I know those terms sound like marketing for mattresses, but it's true. First term is first 5 to 10 years. There's no early cancel. You're locked in. The soft term is when after that, those first 5 to 10 years, the government can bail out with 90 to 120 days notice, okay? To do that, they use something called an ETO, early termination option. But nobody ever used this option before. It was like a break glass in emergency button that sat unused. Then In early 2025, something wild happened. A new department called DOGE, Department of Government Efficiency, hit that button hard. They canceled hundreds of leases to save taxpayer money. About 9 million square feet of space got ditched. This was way bigger than during COVID, when the government kept most leases even with remote work. Announcements started in late January, remember? It peaked on February 18th when Doge's website launched, and it wrapped by early March. Okay, some got reversed later. So from 793 down to 384 by July. But the damage was done. The goal? Cut waste. But it surprised everyone, landlords, investors, and even nearby businesses. The main idea is a term called risk premia. Let me explain. Okay, risk premia sounds fancy, but it means extra money investors demand to cover dangers in a deal. Like if you lend money to a risky friend, you might charge more interest. The paper says investors used to think government leases were low risk, so they didn't charge extra for the chance of cancellations. Doge, Doge's moves, that proved them wrong. It's like buying a safe stock that suddenly crashes because of bad news. They use math models based on older ideas from other experts to compare two worlds. A world where they ignore cancellations, which is old thinking. Sure, the rent was cheaper, but at what cost? We realize now that they underpriced these leases. Then we have a world where cancellations are real. Higher risks mean lower property values. Not to mention, they add an insurance cost to protect against losses. These economists made three predictions from their model. Cancellations make bond prices drop. So bonds are like IOUs backed by these buildings. Canceled buildings lose money from empty spaces and lower rents. Even nearby non government buildings suffer. Okay. It's like a domino effect. What did they find? Check out the numbers. The researchers crunched data from real estate trackers like TREP and GSA lists. They focus on DC because it's full of government offices. They found some direct hits, buildings with canceled leases. What are the second order consequences? Bond prices, especially the riskiest parts, drop 4% right away, and it's stuck. Rental income, called NOI, falls 5.6%. Loans get riskier with more chance of breaking rules, like not covering payments. What about spillovers, the ripple effect? Nearby private buildings, not government, lost 10% in income. Why? Less foot traffic from federal workers means fewer customers for shops or services. It's not only shared loans. It's like one bad apple spoiling the neighborhood vibe. What happened next will shock you. Actual visits to stores didn't change much. It's more about investor panic spreading. But wait, there are third order consequences, big picture losses. They ran simulations like video game what if scenarios for DC over 5 years. In the worst cases, total property value drops. Over $575 million is the median scenario. That's way more than the government's savings, which was 75 to 100 million in DC. Plus, cities lose 51 million in property taxes. It's like the government saved a little on rent, but caused a huge mess for private owners. Values dropped 4% across DC offices. Why does this matter? Think about the connections to real life. This ties into bigger stuff you've heard about, real estate drama, like how remote work after COVID emptied offices. Government cancellations made it worse, hurting banks and insurers who loaned money for these buildings. So that increases default risks involving 300 banks. Now, there's politics and money, okay? Government shutdowns or elections create uncertainty, right? Making stocks volatile or businesses slow down. Here, it's debt, loans, right? So loans are getting hit, not only stocks. What about the everyday impact? Federal workers, 2 million people, 2% of US jobs move around, which affects local shops, jobs, and traffic. One canceled building can hurt the whole block. Okay. Now, this paper says we need better ways to price these risks. To start with, stop treating government deals as always safe. It's a wake up call. Dormant rules can bite hard. The takeaway is government actions can save public money, but cost private folks more. That's my time. I got to get back to work. Share this, retweet on X, subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify. Also, I have something to bring up here. Now, before I tell you this, you're allowed to make fun of me only if your jokes are funny and you get my name right. But what I'm asking you to do is visit my X profile to learn more. If you want to, you can visit my X profile that I'm broadcasting this from. But it's not necessary to follow me. I'm asking you to follow at Safe New Media. Just yesterday, X marked my Safe New Media account as, I guess they think it's spammy or whatever. I don't know. Inauthentic, they said. The last thing I want to be is inauthentic. So someone please let me know if I'm being inauthentic and I will correct my ways. But that's what happened. So it's still good, it's still up, but follow at Safe New Media. Follow at Safe New Media on X, formerly known as Twitter. Whatever you decide to do, team up with me to bring about serious advancement for each other. The plan is for our community to share with each other the systems, processes, and workflows that we are successfully using in order to help each other grow. That's why I invite you to belong higher. Join us on Telegram. That is totally free. See, the reason why you got to have something else besides one channel, like say X cuts me off. Well, then what? So go join us on Telegram for Safe New Media, the inner circle there. Got it? There's a link to it at the top of the Safe New Media X profile. I want to give loyal listeners of this podcast something. Free gift for you if you want to start a podcast but feel imposter syndrome. Right now, you can get the Anti-Imposter Podcast Starter Kit. Get it right now for free at safenew.media. That's safenew.media. That's the URL. To get the Anti-Imposter Podcast Starter Kit. It's a free blueprint for how to start your own podcast. What I'm about to tell you next will shock you.
This is not an offer, solicitation of an offer to buy or sell securities. Past performance is not an indication of future results. Investing involves risk and may result in partial or total loss. Prospective investors should carefully consider investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses, and should consult with a tax or legal advisor before making any investment decision.
Today, owning a home costs $52K more per year than renting. Families are stuck as forever renters. We're seizing this shift, buying 100 plus unit assets in growth markets. Few get in. Why? We don't need more money. We're looking for investors aligned with our values. We're improving quality of life at scale for hardworking families. Secure your place on our wait list. Go to Inveresta.com. You can subscribe to our newsletter that secures your place. Discover which locations qualify. You'll receive our investment strategy criteria. It's the criteria we use to avoid investing in the wrong location. So far, we're not investing in Washington, D.C. It just doesn't fit our numbers. Why is that important to limited partners? Because the easiest way to lose your money is to buy real estate in the wrong location. When you subscribe, you secure a place on our wait list for the next opportunity. Most real estate people tell you to invest in your backyard, which is great. But what if your backyard is a place like Washington, D.C.? It doesn't really work. It doesn't pencil out, right? Avoid losing money in a bad location. It all depends. Okay, but for our business model, we're investing in multifamily real estate in growth markets. Hit me up on our X profile at Inveresta. Retail investors can send me a DM there to let me know what kind of investment opportunities you are looking for. Accredited investors can get in touch with me today. Call my office. Go to inveresta.com. Accredited investors only. This is not an offer or solicitation to the public. Last thing before I let you go, Methods of Prosperity newsletter is the newsletter that I write every week. It goes out every week. This is for anyone who agrees that success leaves clues. We've gone into depth on billionaires, including Larry Ellison and Elon Musk. I believe that understanding what makes them tick grants us insight into our own journey. Of course, we're not going to build, I can't build a rocket or electric cars, and that's okay. But we can learn what people like this who do huge things and make a lot of money as a result of doing great things for the world. We can learn from them. That's what I believe. Go to safenewmedia.com/newsletter. Methods of Prosperity newsletter is intended to share ideas and build relationships. To become a billionaire, one must first be conditioned to think like a billionaire. But let me give you an exception. This week I'm writing about someone who is a billionaire, but they have questionable ethics. I don't know. So you got to make your own decisions. But there are even with people who don't do the right thing every time, sometimes they do the right thing and it can get you where you want to go. Right? So you have to have discernment. That's all I'm saying. But we want to condition our minds to think right, get our minds right. That's the point of this. You can subscribe now for free at safenewmedia.com/newsletter. Thanks for making this the most popular live stream at this hour on this subject. Broadcasting on X, formerly known as Twitter, Hidden Secrets Revealed Live is a production of Safe New Media, unconventional, diversified global digital media company devoted to the practice, administration, and dissemination of the ideologies of its founder, moi, yours truly. My name is Sean Allen Fenn. I like you, but don't take my word for it. Decide for yourself.